Looking for
it was rage and malice in an individual's heart that killed my friend, killed our friend.
Right now, hate crimes under investigation. Get more on the recent increase across the country, and guess what? It's happening here too. Plus,
we're living since a month here, and I never seen any goat around here, so this is really strange.
A satanic ritual, hunters, or troubled teens? Freaked out neighbors in the Cape have their theories after 2 decapitated goats were found floating in a canal. Get more tonight on what police think.
and trainer to the stars Bob Harper suffered a massive heart attack. He survived, but what does that say about exercise and healthy eating? We're getting you more.
I'll get you more on record heat in Southwest Florida. We have another chance to tie or break records on Tuesday. Your Storm Warn 7 forecast on ABC 7 News at 11, which starts right now.
Live from ABC 7, this is News at 11.
A series of threats and vandals are creating concern in the Sunshine State and all over the country.
Tonight, the FBI is investigating a handful of incidents involving religious and ethnic minorities. More Jewish community centers were evacuated today after a series of bomb threats.
On Miami Beach, dozens of cars keyed with swastikas, and in Pennsylvania, more than 500 graves at a Jewish cemetery vandalized. These are just the latest in a series of potential hate crimes across the country in the last month. And it is your big story tonight at 11. I'm Krista Fogelsong.
I'm Jeff Butera, and tonight, as the FBI investigates and the president responds, thousands say they feel unsafe.
Destruction and deadly shootings, a rash of potential hate crimes across the U.S. are under investigation tonight. Monday, more Jewish community centers and schools in nearly a dozen states, including Florida, were victims of bomb threats, though police found nothing.
Why? I think that's really the only thing you could say, because there's really no reason for it to be done.
In Philadelphia over the weekend, headstones in this Jewish cemetery were knocked over.
That kind of behavior and activity is wrong and won't be tolerated, and the highest levels of government denounce it.
And in Kansas, hugs for a survivor. 32-year-old engineer Alak Madasani got hurt, and his friend and colleague was killed when police say Navy veteran Adam Purinton opened fire in a bar. Witnesses say the man told the Indian immigrants that he thought were from the Middle East to get out of his country.
It was rage and, malice in an individual's heart that killed my friend, killed our friend.
President Trump has condemned the threats and vandalism at Jewish community centers. Also, the FBI is now helping to investigate those incidents. But let's get you more right now, because earlier this month, ABC 7 told you about a Fort Myers man who pleaded guilty to 2 federal hate crime charges. His name was James Jones. He admits to telling the owner of Halal Meat and Grocery Store 4 men would blow up the business if it wasn't shut down. At first, the store owner says he considered closing the store down out of fear for his family. Jones is now waiting to be sentenced.
Tonight, another Fort Myers police officer is off the job. Captain Willie Denard retired today after 22 years with the force. At one point, Denard, though, was the candidate for the open police chief job. Ultimately, Chief Derek Diggs got that job.
I'm okay with it. I know the changes need to be made, and I know Chief Diggs is going to make the necessary changes to make that, to ensure that the community has a police department that they can be proud of.
A recent review of the Fort Myers Police Department uncovered corruption. The Free Group report says officers tipped off drug dealers and even cheated on tests to gain promotions. Since the report was released, at least 5 officers have been placed on leave. The police department will not confirm if it's in response to the Free report. That same report highlighted the need for more officers. So tonight, the question is, who's taking care of you with so many officers off the job? ABC 7's Graham Hunter is getting us more.
Is it because of the Free Group report? Absolutely not.
That now infamous report alleges departmental favoritism, inflated arrests for small crimes, and even tipping off drug dealers about search warrants.
I didn't know anything in the report until the actual report was revealed a couple of days ago.
What Captain Willie Denard says he did know about, and the report mentions this as well, is insufficient manpower that started during the economic downturn in 2008.
And we all work more with less.
Now the department is down 6 more officers in just a week.
Do you ever start to worry if there are enough officers left to do the task of policing Fort Myers?
I do. I think that we need more police officers on the street.
There's enough officers to continue the mission, but we need more.
A spokesman for the Fort Myers Police Department said there is adequate manpower to keep the city safe. Mayor Randy Henderson discussed the Free Reports allegations with ABC 7.
In a word, it's disappointing. Then it moves from disappointing to devastating.
Reporting in Fort Myers, Graham Hunter, ABC 7.
Denard says he didn't know anything about the allegations made in the report and said all of the officers deserve due process. His last day is March 8th. He says he's planning to become a teacher.
And let's get you more. That Free Report says the Fort Myers Police Department never recovered from the recession. Tonight, Mayor Randy Henderson, though, says the department should have been able to recover.
I mean, I don't like it that people feel that way, but here's the reality of the situation. Budgets across America, all budgets were challenged in the Great Recession. Many jurisdictions, many cities cut their budgets dramatically. Their agencies, their employees were able to deal with it. We should have dealt with it.
Recession being 8 years ago at this point, Mayor Henderson says he's going to pursue amendments to the city charter that would allow for more oversight.
Someone destroyed an access gate at the Seven Islands parcel development site in Cape Coral, tearing it completely out with an SUV. This locked access point is one of a handful along the stretch of land in the Northwest Cape. Those gates keep people out and away from protected wildlife areas for bald eagles. On Sunday, police say someone saw a white SUV back up to the gate, hook up to it, and then just peel out.
I didn't think that would happen at all. You don't tear down a fence. There's no reason for it.
People living in Northwest Cape Coral did not want to see development at the Seven Islands area. The people who witnessed the crime say a tan sedan was also with that white SUV when the damage happened. Fortunately, they did not see the license plates, but police are trying to track down the two vehicles. New at 11, a South Fort Myers man is in fair condition after investigators say he was hit by a bullet meant for someone else. The shooting happened at the Pinnacle Apartments off US 41 and led to a massive crime scene at the Matanzas Pass Bridge. That's where deputies arrested 19-year-old Morgan Riley after a high-speed chase. According to his arrest report, Riley kicked in the door to his ex-girlfriend's apartment and fired off 10 shots at her new boyfriend. The bullets somehow missed the man, but traveled through a wall, hitting a neighbor.
And the Charlotte County Sheriff says a deputy who shot and killed a man came face-to-face with 2 knives. Tonight, we know the deputy who pulled the trigger is on leave, standard procedure in cases like this. And the sheriff's office is saying the deputy shot and killed 41-year-old Jacob Talby in Inglewood last night. Deputies were responding to a 911 call about a domestic situation, and they say they heard this guy on the phone making threats. When they got there, deputies say Talby came at them with those 2 knives. That's when they opened fire. Sheriff says, again, it is policy to place officers on leave while the investigation into the shooting continues. Looking ahead tonight, Fort Myers city planners will meet on Wednesday to talk about ways to get more people to live downtown, especially young people. The planning board wants to tweak the city code for developing the area. The change would allow for more apartments and condos in housing developments, but the challenge here is keeping them affordable enough to entice young professionals to live downtown.
To really have a good, robust commercial core, you need to have shoppers.
Well, I live in Cape Coral because it's a lot cheaper. I can afford a house instead of living in like a studio apartment comparably. It's just way too expensive to live downtown.
Now, the city's proposal for bringing costs down include doubling the number of units allowed per acre, which would mean smaller apartments and condos.
State lawmakers want to crack down on repeat DUI offenders. A new bill would require every person convicted of a DUI to have an ignition interlock for at least 6 months, even first offenders. The in-car breathalyzers stop you from starting your car until you can show that you are okay to drive. Right now in Florida, ignition interlocks are only required for repeat DUI offenders.
I think it's a good idea, especially because first-time offenders, I mean, it often leads to second-time offenders. So if you can prevent that, I think that would be great.
Offenders would pay for the devices. In Collier and Lee counties, it costs around $100 to install them and $50 a month for calibration and monitoring.
Cape Coral police are investigating something disturbing. 2 decapitated goats found along a canal. Neighbors say they found the carcasses at the corner of Beach Parkway and Surfside Boulevard this weekend. It's a white goat, a brown goat, and a chicken. They were all together. Cape Coral police tell us incidents like this, they're rare but not unheard of, stemming from hunters or maybe even religious practices.
We're living since a month here, and I never seen any goat around here, so this is really strange.
The city is trying to get rid of these animals in the next day or so, but if anyone is found to be at fault here, they could face illegal dumping charges.
Well, the former host of The Biggest Loser and fitness guru who just survived being on death's door is opening up about a recent heart attack. Bob Harper, he wrote with Oprah one time, was working out in a New York gym 2 weeks ago when he collapsed. The 51-year-old was actually in a coma in the hospital for 2 days recovering from that heart attack, and ultimately was in the hospital for 8 days. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you should stop eating healthy and stop exercising. The workout guru says heart attacks actually run in his family, and his mother died from a heart attack, and some people say Bob just pushes himself too hard. Well, do you ever make an escape plan with friends when you go out, a secret symbol or a sign or even a word to let each other know that you want out? Well, one man says you should do the same thing with your kids to help them avoid peer pressure. Blogger Bert Folks says his key word or letter is actually X. Here's how it works. When you get the X text, you wait a few minutes and then call that person back following a basic script. You say something like, something's happened that you can't talk over the phone and you're going to pick them up. Here's the kicker though, once your teen gets in the car, they can tell you as much or as little as they want. Experts say this is a 2-for-1 deal. It offers parents a sense of security and teens get a sense of independence and responsibility.
New at 11, another case of stolen mail right from the box. Someone snatched checks from a home business mailbox in Cape Coral. Last week, the owners of Extreme Pest Control on Pelican Boulevard noticed something was wrong. A nearby doctor's office then found some empty envelopes in its yard that were addressed to the pest control business. They were checks that had been stolen right from the mailbox. Cape cops are saying right now it's really a hot time for crimes like this, so be careful.
I love them, and it smells awesome. I always like smelling up my house.
But all those candles making your house smell nice could be doing a lot of harm to your body. Think secondhand smoke. ABC 7 tonight, getting you more about the risk to your family's health.
And looking to drop weight fast, get more on the pitfalls of some of the most popular fad diets and why you could actually end up gaining weight instead.
And if you're thinking about perhaps sweating it out in the sauna, just wait till tomorrow, because we'll have even warmer temperatures than this in your Storm Warn 7 forecast, and that's coming up.
Well, next time you light up, think twice. We're talking about candles, not cigarettes. According to a new study, though, it's not just a fire danger.
The problem is that the candles produce soot, and then one Fort Myers doctor is saying that a lot of soot can actually make you sick. Nestor Mato dug deeper into that tonight.
I love them, and it smells awesome. I always like smelling up my house.
Sarah Denslow says she loves scented candles.
Pine cone scented ones and the apple cinnamon.
And she's not alone. Candles are $1 billion industry, but health experts have a warning before you light another one.
It's more than just a fire hazard. Doing anything in excess, you can create an environment that could be difficult to breathe in or toxic, release toxins into the air.
Candles could create soot that you could breathe in. The fine black particle made of carbon trapped in your house could wreck you or your child's health. They also warn the chemicals that make up the scent could also be toxic in excess.
Scents that are created by the candles also can be irritating to the lungs and can cause bronchoconstriction or asthma attacks.
That's crazy.
Soot sickness can occur when you burn candles for too long and in the wrong places. Experts say never burn for more than 3 hours at a time and blow it out if you see the dark dust around the rim.
You never know how serious it could be.
In Lee County, Nestor Mato, ABC 7.
Long-term effects of candles? Well, no studies have ever really looked into that yet. The National Candle Association, yes, there is one of those, they're saying that candles, you want to keep them away from drafts and also air currents, and what that does is avoid the soot spreading.
Let's get you more on how you can still save your favorite scents. The answer is a throwback. candle warmers. Instead of burning a wick, which is what causes a soot, you can actually buy your favorite scents and use a candle warmer to melt the wax and still get that good smell. There are some great wickless candle systems, scents you've probably heard of. Even Yankee candles have the little wax cubes that you can still melt and have that Yankee candle smell, and it'll save you some time and money.
Note 11, juice cleanses, gluten-free diets. Those are just a few of the recent fad diets promising to keep us young and healthy and thin. But the American College of Cardiology just released a study showing many of them are too good to be true. Put the juicer down if you're trying to cut calories. Taking away the pulp actually concentrates calories, gives you fewer. Gluten-free diets could actually have you gaining weight if you don't have a gluten-related medical condition.
Tonight, Florida wildlife officials are looking for a panther who was spotted right next to a bus stop. A dad in Golden Gate Estate says he saw that panther Thursday morning at the corner of 8th Street Northwest and 25th Avenue. That's right next to the new Collier Charter Academy. He says kids were waiting at the stop as the panther just walked on by.
At 11:18, we have some breaking news to tell you about tonight. 4 people are dead, another 2 are hurt after a plane crashed into a house in a California neighborhood. Look at these flames. New video coming into ABC 7. Investigators are still looking for survivors and bodies in the wreckage right now. 2 houses are destroyed. Right now, it's not clear if there are other deaths. I'm just reading on the wire right now that a husband, wife, and 3 teenagers were returning to San Jose on Monday after a weekend cheerleading conference at Disneyland. Those were the people who were inside of this plane that crashed. Tune in to Good Morning Southwest Florida starting at 5 in the morning as we get you more on this tragedy out west.
Now your ABC 7 Storm Warn 7 forecast. Southwest Florida's most accurate forecast.
A very hot day today around Southwest Florida. In fact, we set and tied a record at Fort Myers and Naples. 89 tied the record from 2012 in Fort Myers, and 88 set a new record. The old one was 87, set back in 1971. So very hot today. And that heat was able to spark a couple of little sprinkles, but a lot of us did not see any rain around Southwest Florida. The couple of sprinkles that popped up were east of I-75. Now tomorrow, we have a better chance of seeing a couple of sprinkles and rain showers pop up because the sea breeze is going to be right over the bigger cities of Southwest Florida. Right now, it's about 5 to 9 degrees warmer than it was this time last night, and that puts temperatures in the low to mid 70s around most of the region. Punta Gorda, though, down to 68 degrees, still 75 in Fort Myers and Marco Island at 73. Here's what we're forecasting for Naples and Fort Myers tomorrow. Naples, 88 degrees. The record is 87, set back in 1997, so that would be a new record. And so with this 89 for Fort Myers, the old record is 88, set back in 2012. So it is going to be another hot day in Southwest Florida. And our model here is a bit overdone. We showed you live radar and there's no rain out there, but we will see a few patchy clouds leading to some patchy fog by first thing tomorrow morning. So make sure you check in with Cody beginning at 5 a.m. He'll be here on ABC 7 and let you know where the foggy spots are if there are any visibilities that get down below a mile. By 12 o'clock noon, we'll see a southeasterly breeze and that'll start dragging over some clouds. Could be a sprinkle inland as well by 12 o'clock noon. High temperatures tomorrow will get back into the upper 80s. And our sea breeze in the afternoon, as I mentioned, sets up right over the bigger cities of Southwest Florida. So we do have a 20% chance for a shower tomorrow afternoon and early tomorrow evening before the sky will clear out once again. And we'll drop back down into the low and mid 60s heading into your Thursday morning or Wednesday morning. Days of the week are all messed up because we were here for the Oscars last night. 6 a.m., 65 degrees with some patchy fog. By noon, we're at 86, 89, the forecast high. And then we've got that icon in there for the rain shower by 6 o'clock. It's going to be late afternoon or early evening when we have that chance for a quick shower. So it looks like the ball games will be fine tomorrow, albeit hot. 89 degrees at 2 p.m. at JetBlue Park as the Yankees take on the Red Sox. And then the Twins are in Charlotte County taking on the Rays. It'll be 88 degrees there at 2 p.m. It's going to continue to be hot until we can get our next cool front through here, and that will happen Thursday night into early Friday. Don't get your hopes up for rain because look at that thin little line of rain just kind of dry up as the front passes through Southwest Florida. But that hot weather will go away and we'll see cooler temperatures and lower humidity and a real nice, especially first half of the weekend coming up here. So 89 tomorrow, 87 on Wednesday, hot days, and then a little cooler as that front approaches with a few clouds, and then low 80s for Friday and Saturday before it warms back up. That's Southwest Florida's most accurate forecast from Storm Warn 7.
All right, ready to go on vacation? I always am. Still to come at 11, what we can almost guarantee will be the longest trip of your life.
Also coming up in sports, Tim Tebow talks about his transition to professional baseball. Also, FGCU begins their conference tournament. We'll hear from the Eagles head coach next on ABC 7.